Okay, we're back. John Carter.
Okay, question in the room is,
I'll do that.
okay, I'm going to field a few questions. John's going to go get lunch, and then I'm going to do a lesson on pit noise for you guys. Question in the room is, the squeeze indicator does not seem to work on my Forex screens. I thought Hubert said yesterday that it was fairly accurate indicator. It is. It just works on a longer time frame, like a 60 or a 45 or a 30 minute. It works pretty good on a 60 minute. It'll catch you some moves if you mess around on the Forex at all. Does anybody else have any specific questions for me or any of the stuff I went over yesterday? I'm going to kick up the gain on this one microphone here next to pit noise, and I'm going to go through. What do you mean the parameters, Bradley? Are you talking about, do you own them, Bradley? Oh, not really. I mean, that's one reason that we actually sell them, and I actually have them locked up where the code is kind of there's no real. And when we sell them, the code's locked up too. I mean, I will release the code on very special occasions, but it's in your manual. Which indicator are you talking about, Bradley? Which one specifically? And I can give you a rough idea about what you should be adding to it. And I'm the guy that designs all of them, so I would be the one that would know. The squeeze, it's right in the manual. I've explained it. It's Bollinger Bands, Keltner channels, momentum. Add you a couple exponential moving averages in there, an average true range, and you're set. That'll get you good enough. I mean, you could do it just straight off of the Bollinger Bands, the Keltners, and the momentum to get you in it, but you're not going to have the best looking histogram in the world. So, but it'll work. I think the squeeze, when you buy the squeeze, you get the squeeze, the bricks, and the TTM trend. So you get all three of those in one package. So it's not like you're only paying like $300 or $400 just for the squeeze. You get the squeeze, the bricks, and the trend all packaged together. So I'm going to turn the mic gain on this microphone on pit noise, and I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking about when I'm hearing the pit noise. So to kind of give you a real world example of what I'm thinking in my head, stream of conscious when I'm hearing the pit noise. TTM scalper alert. What do you mean, Dreamer? How's it not matching up? You will need. Oh, you're not getting the dots. Okay, at YM. Oh, YM numbers. Okay, I'll have to. When John gets back, I'll have him come back in here. Dreamer, he went to go grab lunch. No price. You have trade station data? Are you on the tick chart? Now, the actual screens that we post in the room, they're like 3 seconds delayed. So it'll be price. 3's not matching. Oh, are you talking about S3s? The S3s? For the pivots? Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. We'll have to see what John's got his set to. Yeah, you might want to check your sessions. Make sure you're on 24-hour sessions. That might take care of you. I've got all mine set on 24-hour sessions except for my gap charts. Justin, make sure you go under indicator, show me, and paint bar and look for all the TTM indicators. All the TTM indicators. You'll find Did you find it? Okay, alright. Alright, so I'm gonna go through here. Okay, no problem. I'm going to turn up the mic gain here, and I'm going to explain to you how I use pit noise today. We may not get much action because we are kind of extended, but I'll tell you what he's saying and what I'm hearing and what I'm looking at and stuff like that, okay? So give me just a couple seconds to configure this.
Even. 670 been a 90. 677 even. 677 even. 680.
Audio 1-2, audio 1-2.
660 even an 80.
Okay, that's all set up right there. So the first thing you need to know is
677 even. 670 even a 90.
is you're looking at, we're listening to this chart right here, the SPOOs, okay, the S&P. So when he's going,
he's going to be working over there, so he's going to be breaking that other guy. 670 even a 90.
670 by 90, 670 by 90. The SPOOs are trading at 1076 by 1076.60 by 1076.90, okay?
6 half 80, 6 half 80.
6 half 80, 6 half 80. It's trading at 6 half, 1076 by 1076.80. It's trading, that's the bid ask, okay?
$6.30 and a half.
Now it sounds like selling to me in the background. Can you hear him in the background? Don't really pay a lot of attention to the guy that's quoting off the noise, but what you have to do is you have to close your eyes and then every now and then glance up at the chart. Yeah, he's standing right above the pit. Yeah.
6.30 and a half.
So you can see price action's going down a little bit here. The pit guys just sold a little bit,
6.30 and a half.
but there's no follow through. You can hear in the very background. That's who you're trying to listen for. You're trying to hear the crowd mentality in the background to see if they're all jumping on or if they're all gradually selling it a little bit at a time. Okay? So there's not much crowd noise in the background. Turn John's stuff down here.
6.20 and a half.
Yeah, Scott. Yeah, they're trading in different increments. The biggies are in the pit. So there's still no hardcore selling in the pit. You can hear them talking amongst themselves. They're having casual conversations.
Buy them off.
It's getting close to their lunchtime too. And the program that I use, I can type in and ask them how full the pit is, and the guy will tell me. Now you're starting to get a little bit more noise in the pit, but still no follow through. If they can break the at the 1076 area, you might get a little weakness and then a little follow through to the downside. But so far, right now, they're just chopping amongst themselves, and they're not really committing to the downside yet. Okay, so they're just hanging loose. And you can hear them in the background just milling amongst themselves. He's paid by a Squawk Box.
6.20 and a half.
Yeah, the chart I'm looking at is this one right here.
So.
It's this chart right here. It's the S&P right here.
6 even 30.
So when he's saying 6 even 30, it's 6 even.
6 even 20.
6 even, 6 even 20. So he's just giving me the real-time bid ask of the big contract, okay? But you should be looking at the S&P when you're listening to this. But I use it to trade off. ES 5 minute has a squeeze, okay.
586 even. Welcome with open arms.
Let me know which way that fires there, PK, when it fires off.
586 even.
Let me go look at that real quick.
586 even.
Yeah, it's a little spotty though. You see the action here? You see where you've got red dot, blue dot, red dot? I would pretty much pass on that one right there based on that. Okay.
586 even.
Let's zoom in there a little bit and take a look at what it really looks like on.
570 been a 90.
Hold on just a second. I've got to go to another chart real quick. Huh?
$586 even. 586 even. $586 even.
Yeah, that's a little iffy there. It's
586.20.
acting a little strange. I would pass. I mean, we've made good money this morning. You don't have to hit every trade. I'm gonna let that one go. Plus, I'm not real keen on trading the ES in the first place.
586 even.
All right, so back to here. We broke 1076. The pit's still kind of non-committal. You can't really hear anything in the background.
5F80. 560 been an 80. $570. 570.
That's about it, and I play it every day in the background and just try to pick up. He's not really saying anything. He's not helping my little teaching session here.
576 even. $576 even. $586 even. 586 even.
586 even. Bounce a little bit, not much.
586 even. $586 even. $570 been a 90.
You had a 2-minute YM fire off about 2 or 4 minutes ago. We are getting into the doldrums though.
570 been a 90.
Passing on that one. We are a little extended, so we should get a little bit of a retracement. It's just I'm trying to give you guys
570 been a 90.
a pit noise lesson. They're just not cooperating here.
$5F80. 5F80. $5F80. $5F80.
Pit's getting a little bit more active. The volume has slightly increased. The audible volume has increased a little bit.
5F70. 5F70.
Not much. It's subtle.
$5F70. 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 $5F70.
Oh, cool. Okay, Trish, good.
$5F70.
Justin, I'm not doing anything with bonds. John ran out to get lunch. I don't really trade bonds, so yeah, I'm not really your guy for bonds.
570, 560 been an 80, 570 been a 90. 570 been a 90. 576 even. 576 even. $576 even.
My little pit guy's not cooperating. None of the pit guys are cooperating here for the little pit noise lesson, that's for sure.
16 to 20.
You did have a 2-minute brick short fire off earlier.
6 to 30. 6 to 30. 16 to 30. 6 to 30. 6 to 30. Hey, Kevin. 6 to 30. Done. 6 to 30.
Kevin is just, I have no idea who Kevin is. You'll hear Chunk, which is the guy behind my pit guy, quoting me off, that works for Squawk Box. And Chunk works behind my main guy, and Big Joe will be on next to give this guy a break. But I don't know, they yell at Kevin all the time.
At 30. 6 to 30. 6 to 30.
No, it's not 6.
6 to 30. 16 to 20. 16 to 20. 16 to 20. 16 to 20. 620 bit zero, 620 bit and a half. 630 bit and a half. 630 bit and a half. 16 to 30. 16 to 30. 16 to 20. 16 to 20. 620 bit and a half.
Microsoft red on the day by a penny. Microsoft is red by a penny. Put calls cruising pretty good. It's stable at 0.89, 0.88. It's pretty good for the market. As you can see, the put call right here, it's just sideways, 0.87. Got the ticks have stayed mainly in the positive territory today. They've only pierced the actual negative side all of 3 times, which I'm going to note here with the pencil. There's 1, 2, 3.
6, 7, and 30.
That's a good thing for longs.
16 and 20.
And trend is basing around sideways. That's really good. It started out. Well, somebody tell me, what did the trend start out and what's it at now? What was the first reading of the trend this morning?
16 and 20. And 30. 16 and 30, 16 and 30.
Okay, so based on that reading, and now it's at 0.43.
16 and 30.
It's a good thing for longs, and thank goodness that we did play it correctly this morning. So now it's just basing at 0.42, 0.43, so that's really good. What do you mean plot range? Excuse me. Whatever the default is when the indicator comes to you, I'm not sure what it's set to, I forget.
16 and 20, units are trading at 10, Morgan. 596.10.
TTM confirmation.
586 even.
I'm not sure. I don't recall this off of memory. I'd have to open up the indicator and get into it
576 even.
and read some of the code.
$560 at 80.
The plot range for the dots.
5F80, 5F80.
Right offhand, I'm not sure what they are. I'd have to open it up and
5F70.
dig through the code.
$5F70. 5F70, 5F70. $560 at 80.
We'll switch it back to the 5-minute squeezes here, see if we got anything going on. We got the ER in a 5-minute. And see, looking here, we did do that correctly on the ES. It's back into the squeezes on the 5-minute. So you knew it was going to do that based on it messing around going red dot, blue dot, red dot, blue dot. It started acting a little screwy there. So you pass on that one. Now it's right back into the red dots. The ER is in red dots. That means it's in a squeeze. So we're in a holding pattern on 2 of them. The ER is You can't really do anything other than 5-minute squeezes during the doldrums. Other than that, I mean, you should just be relaxing, kicking back, and just taking a look at the market. Try not to get too involved during the 11:30 to 2:30 time, just because you'll do the reaction type trades or the boredom type trades, which will drain your bank account.
576 even.
Can you hear me now, Mo Man?
586 even.
How about now? Yeah, I've got the pit noise up pretty well, just so that I'm trying to give a little pit noise lesson, but they're not really cooperating.
586 even. 586.20. 6 even 20. 620 minute and a half. 620 minute and a half. 630 minute and a half. 670. 670. 670, 630 minute 70. 630 minute 70. 670. 630 minute and a half. 620 minute and a half. 620 minute and a half. 670. 630 minute 70. 630 minute and a half. 620 minute and a half. 620 minute 40. 16 minute 30. 620 minute and a half. 620 minute and a half. 620 minute and a half. 16 minute 30. 610 minute 30. 16 minute 30. 16 minute 30. 610 minute 30. 610 minute 30. 610 minute 30. 6.5 at 6.70. 6.70. 6.70. 677 even. 677 even. 687 even. 687 even. 687 even.
Yeah, there's a 5-minute setting up on the Dow Minis. I'm taking a look at it right
687 even. $677 even. $687 even. 70 and not 30. JP Morgan 70 and 20. 70 and not 30. And they pay up to 10 on the 30 lot. They're done 70 and 20.
All right, so JP Morgan
Just
paid up to 10, so
687.20.
you have a scalper buy. You have a scalper buy on the ES. Taking a look at the 5-minute on the Dow. It's still in red dot.
70 and 20. 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 70 and 20.
I just won. It's the right way to do it.
Go right, go right. Yes,
70 and 20. 70 and 30. 70 and 20. 687, 20, 687 even. 687.20. 6.580, 6.570. 6.570. 6.570. 6.570. 6.570. 6.570. 6.570.
Kevin! 6.570.
660 bid at 80. 660 bid at 80. 670, 70, 687 even. 687, 20, 70 to 20. 687 even. 687 even. 687 even. 70 bid, 70 to 20. 687 even. 687 even. 677 even. 680, 680. 630 and a half. 630.
I'm gonna record this, guys. I'm answering questions from Terrence here. Yeah, this is my normal setup right here, and just for me, it's just a little bit easier for me to see what the trend's doing. Plotting it on a line on close on a 2 minute or a 1 minute, and it's just a little bit easier, so I can see the turning points. Like, see right here, I could have did a tick fade earlier if I wasn't so focused on what the market was doing. And then I pretty much just trade the Dow minis, and then I focus on Clack. Where Clack's almost getting down to an entry right here at 35.84. But this is how I look at it. I mean, I can put it all on one screen if I have to, but I've got these same 20-inch screens at the house, and at the other office I have a couple of 19s, a quad set of 19s, and then at my older office I have the 421s. But yeah, I set them up to where I'm only focusing on what pretty much I teach at like the seminars and stuff. So yeah, there's no charts. I'm just pointing at stuff on my desktop while I'm talking to Terrence here. And yeah, if you guys need them, I can send you my trade station layouts. Can you guys hear me? Audio 1, 2. Hold on, let me turn the pit noise down a little bit. Audio 1, 2. Audio 1, 2. Audio 1, 2. Audio 1, 2. Can you hear me now, Mo Man? If you can't hear me, you might need to log out and log back in.
You're coming in fine.
Okay, because we're modifying it here, and it's working pretty good. I mean, monitoring it. So, I was just going over just what my layouts look like and stuff. You just couldn't hear me because of the pit noise in the background? Okay, I understand. All right, so John's going to go through these bond questions and answer them, then we're going to take lunch. All right?
So, you guys, for the bond trade, I just got back. Have you guys, Rusty, have you done anything with bonds yet, or are you guys just watching?
570.
Bless you. So basically, the first criteria here is that we, at 11:30, we wanted to measure and see where the bond market was. Okay, and at 11:30, we're right here around 110 and 16/30 seconds, and we trade down to 110 in about 11/30 seconds. So, what's the first criteria that we're looking for before implementing a bond trade? Does anybody remember? Right, so we want to have less than half a point range. So the first question is, did we meet that criteria for today?
half a point range or less than a half?
Less than half a point.
So if it's a half a point, you can't do it.
Yeah, if it's a half a point or greater, we pass.
Okay.
So today's range was below a half a point, so we do have valid trades for today. So now I just got back, and let's mark the horizontal pivot levels. All right, so where are we going to put these? We're going to put one here at 16:30 seconds, right? I just do this every day. I'll just draw the lines wherever we are, and I'm going to make this stand out against this chart. So let's make it. We'll make it yellow. And let's make it a little bit bigger. All right. So there's one right there. And then let's come up there and put one up here, because that's another quarter point level. And there's the other quarter point level there. Okay. So you guys see all the quarter point levels there? Now, basically, where we are right now is, you basically just start wherever you are on the day. Now, I came in. I wasn't here right at 12 o'clock. I got back around 12:20, so that's where I'm going to start my trades. So right now, where are we? We're right below this pivot level, right here. So I'm going to short. I want to short a rally into this pivot level. That means I want to short at 110 and 15:30 seconds. All right. Now, if you would have started right at 12. You could have done, you could have basically done this and bought this level right here. What I like to do, personally, is when we get a situation like this where you start right off at a quarter point level, I like the market to push up or down from that level at least 3 ticks and then get something to fade. Because when you start at 12 o'clock, right at a pivot level, then you don't really have anything to fade. You don't have anything to go long. You don't have anything to go short. So, you kind of let it move up a little bit, or let it move down a little bit, so you can then fade the next move. So if it pops up into this level, then you can set up a sell order to sell at 110 and 23:30 seconds, or you can set up a buy order to buy at 110 and 17:30 seconds, right? Or if it sets up down here, then you set up a level to sell at 110 and 15:30 seconds, and you can't see it, but you'd set a level to buy at 110 and 9:30 seconds. So the key with these is that first you want to wait until 12 o'clock. You want to make sure that the prior half hour had traded in less than a half a point range, or 16:30 seconds. And then from there, you got to get a move to fade. So if you're trading right at a level, you got to wait and let the market move 3 ticks, at least one way or the other. And then once you get that move, now you've got a market to fade. Okay, does that make sense? So right now, since I've come into the trade, I've come into the bond trade a little late, the first move for me would be fading this rally here. And in fact, that's what I want to do right now. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to place a sell limit order at 110 and 15:30 seconds.
Looking good, Billy Ray! Feeling good, Billy!
That's loud. A little hungry there?
Mm-hmm. And no breakfast hurt me there.
Ground is probably done. Nope, okay.
Philip? Let me know.
So the bond markets are going to be a lot more quiet than the stock markets, which is why I like to trade them between 12 and 2. Do what? Yeah. So if you guys are following this trade, you should be short at 110 and 15-30 seconds. Okay? Now, you place a stop on the target. Now, you guys remember right from the stuff that we talked about yesterday, what's going to be your stop, what's going to be your target. Okay? We are short. And that's how I type it in. Oh, sorry, 115 dash... Ignore that. 110-15. So that's our entry level. Right, so our stop's going to be 22.30 second, and our target's going to be 11.30 seconds. Okay? So now we're in a bond trade, and there's nothing else to do. The bond trade basically just takes care of itself. If we get stopped out on the first trade, then that'll be the last bond trade for the day. If we make money on the first bond trade, then we'll set up another one. And it doesn't really help to stare at it because the bond's going to move pretty slow. I mean, we could be in this trade for 30 minutes or 2 hours, or the bonds move pretty methodically and pretty slow. All right, it's pretty simple. Do you guys have any questions on how to set this up? The other thing about today... Oh, sure. Every once in a while what's going to happen is right at 12 o'clock, you're going to have the market right at one of the quarter point levels, okay? Hold on here just a second. And when you have it right at one of the quarter point levels, then what you want to do is you don't have anything to fade if it's right at a quarter point level. So what you want to do is you want to let the market trade for a little bit, and if you can get up to get up to at least plus 3 ticks or down to minus 3 ticks, then that gives you something to fade. Okay? So since the whole purpose of this trade is to fade moves to quarter point levels, then if you're at a quarter point level and you have nothing to fade. So you need to wait for the first 3 tick move away from that level, and then you can start setting up fades. All right? Does that make sense? Yeah, sure. No, yeah, I'm done. So, okay, so yep, yeah. So the target, Patricia, is going to be 11:30 seconds, and the stop's 22:30 seconds. And now you just let the trade go.
$670. $680. $677 even.
No, I just had to shift something.
$7 even.
Yeah, I mean, go back to the bonds here. So the bonds are just kind of hanging out here right at the pivot level. Yeah, Jim. Actually, in a more perfect world, we would have actually got a little bit bigger of a move there.
680.
The success rate on the bond trade is generally about 80%. What I found with people is that they either love this trade or they hate this trade, and it really depends how what I found is it depends how the first trade goes. If this is the first bond trade you've ever done and you get stopped out, you'll basically like, oh, okay, I don't like this trade. If it's the first bond trade you do and it hits a target, it's like, oh, okay, I like this trade. But you got to remember the odds are that 80% of the time the trade works out, and that's what we're looking for, is a high probability trade during the doldrums.
677 even.
Right, Chris. This is a 30-year bond. And the whole point of this is to find a high probability to trade during the doldrums when the stock markets are generally quiet. Now, the only other thing that I'm looking at during the doldrums is a potential 5-minute squeeze. All right? So, if you look here on the 5-minute squeezes, on the mini-sized Dow, we got 6 red dots. On the mini S&P, we got like 7 or 8 red dots. NASDAQ, nothing. On the Russell, we got like, 15 red dots. So now if one of these fire, and we get a 5-minute squeeze during the doldrums, I will take it. Okay, that is the only one of only 2 stock trades that I will take during the doldrums. The other one would be an extreme tick move, but I wouldn't take a tick move today, because remember, on the tick moves, we want to look for days that are more moderate in nature. Everything today is very strongly bullish. When you've got a mixed market and then you get the random plus 1,000 tick or minus 1,000 tick, that's what you want to fade. Today's kind of a more rare day where you have everything pointing bullish. So when you get a plus 1,000 tick reading, you're actually going to be using that to exit longs and not to initiate new shorts, because we don't want to. There's really no short trades that we want to take today. Justin, it's just based on the trades that I've taken on it.
687 even.
Yeah, Jordan, that's just kind of like based on the trades that we've taken on it.
687 even.
Soybean oil. Justin, that's a good question. If the S&P fires off a short squeeze and the Dow hasn't yet, I will take the short squeeze in the Dow.
687.
But if the NASDAQ or the Russell fire off, I'll kind of wait. I mean, those are good heads up that the 5 minutes rolling over. Let's see, a question on the YM gap.
670 even to 90, 687 even.
Is the close of the previous day at 4:15 or 5 as of slide 98 with a session end at 5? I actually like to look at both. Really, the best number to use is for the gap is the 4:15 close, because that's when the S&P closes, that's when the NASDAQ closes. Even though the Dow will continue trading until 5, you kind of want to be in sync with all the other markets.
620 even and a half. $620 even and a half.
Yep, there is a bond trade on. We're short at 110 in 15-30 seconds. And right now for the stock indices, we're just waiting to see if we can get a 5-minute squeeze, and we will definitely be taking that trade. So right now during the doldrums, remember what I was telling you guys, part of the business plan for trading during the doldrums is not really doing a lot. Just being able to, the morning's always pretty hectic. There's a lot of activity. Your brain can get kind of frazzled doing all the different things. So during the doldrums, give yourself some time to kick back and relax. Bond trades are a great way to do it because they're not, they're very low stress. They're easy to get into, easy to get out of. And then the 5-minute squeeze is a very specific signal to wait for, to take. You're not sitting there like trading out of boredom. You're waiting for a specific signal in the 5-minute squeeze. So that's what we're doing now. And so we're just going to kind of kick back, keep the pit noise on, and grab some lunch. All right? So I think what we're going to do here for the archive is we'll keep recording here for a little bit longer, though we're not going to really be talking unless we have some questions. And then we can pause the archives through lunch because nothing's really going to happen between about 1 and 2, and then we'll fire it back up again for the last 2 hours.
670.
Hey, Louis, do you have any tape? Got this?
680.
Yep, 7 ticks. 7 ticks on the bonds.
680. 680. 680. 680.
All right, so if you guys have any other questions right now, the forum's wide open for questions. Otherwise, we're just going to be kicking back here, waiting to see how the bond trade develops, and then waiting for a 5-minute squeeze. Oh, yeah, good question. The doldrums are between 11:30 and 2:30.
677 even.
That's the doldrums. Usually by 2 o'clock, I want to be back looking at the markets because they tend to start picking up around 2 again. But 11:30 to 2:30, if we're talking about the doldrums, that's that time frame.
$677 even. 660 even at 80. $670.
There's a program for like auto trading and stuff like that. That basically the signals that we take in the room, you can get hooked up with a broker, and the broker will also follow the exact same trades for you. So there is a program like that. If you guys are interested in it, you can just email us.
$677 even.
The idea is that either you do these trades on your own, or if it looks like, you look at the trades and say, wow, that looks pretty good, but I'd rather go play golf, then you can just set up what's called an auto trading account, and it'll just follow the same trades that we do in the room every day. Jim, you could take it in the Russell, but for me, I'm really just kind of watching the Dow and the S&Ps because I kind of like to narrow my focus on a couple of indexes. So if the Russell fired short, I would look at that as a strong heads up that the S&P and YM would also fire a short, but I'd wait for one of those two to fire a short. Now, if you wanted to just go ahead and take that short in the Russell, that's fine.
70 bid, 70 and 30, 77 and 30. 70 and 20. 70 and 20.
Oh, what, Justin, when I do... what I do for plot range is I use 1.5 under plot displacement 1.5.
70 and 20.
Right. Now we just got a high tick reading, and again, you don't have to stare at the ticks to know because we heard the sounds, we heard the audio alert. You can crank it up.
720 bid JFL, 720 bid and a half. 720 bid and 40. 720 bid and 40. 70 and 30. Local 6 JFL, 70 and 30. 70 and 30.
Okay, you can see we're getting plus 26 ticky readings, plus 600 tick readings. You don't even have to look at those. You don't even have to look at the charts to know that because you can hear the audio alerts. All right, markets are pushing higher. Trends are through dead lows. Sectors are all green.
687 even.
But the markets move so slow during the doldrums that I'm not interested in trading them unless we get a 5-minute squeeze. All right, you can see the markets have traded in about a 15-point Dow range for the last 2 hours. Okay, there's not a lot of profit opportunity in that range.
70 and 20.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is for the archives, I'm going to pause.
30.
Okay. Well, we'll keep recording it. We'll just keep recording, but it's going to be quiet, and we'll start looking at it again about 2 o'clock.